Welcome back to my channel, guys. In today's video, we'll be learning about the lowest common multiple, also known as LCM. We'll begin by understanding the meaning of LCM, and then we'll learn how to find the LCM of two or more numbers using listing the multiples method. Let's dig in. The lowest common multiple, also known as LCM, is the smallest number that is a multiple of two or more numbers. What this means is that given a list of multiples of two or more numbers, after identifying their common multiples, the smallest common multiple is what we call the LCM. So LCM can mean lowest common multiple or least common multiple. What that means is that when you have your list of common multiples between two or more numbers, the smallest one, the least, the lowest is the LCM. And LCM is very important. You use it when you are solving fractions, when you have to do addition or subtraction of fractions and the denominators are different, you're going to apply LCM in that instance. So it's very important that you know how to find LCM. And there are a couple of methods for finding LCM. In this particular video, we'll be using listing the multiple method. We have other videos where we use the factor method and the index method. So do well to check them out after this one. So for listing the multiple method, as the name implies, we'll begin by listing the multiple of the numbers. For example, to find the LCM of 8 and 12, as you can see, we're going to begin by identifying the common multiples between 8 and 12. And you can see that the first common multiple between the both of them is 24. And just like we did in our lesson on common multiples, we'll identify these common multiples. We have 24. And the next one will be 48. And the next one will be 72. So I think that's the much we have from the multiples that we have on our screen. So let's go ahead and write out what the common multiples are for 8 and 12. So I'm going to say common multiples of 8 and 12 are 24, 48, 72. So now that we have the list of common multiples, we're just going to pick the smallest one, the least one, usually the first one, as the lowest common multiple. So we can finalize by saying, so therefore, LCM of 8 and 12 is 24. And that's it. That's just how to find the LCM using listing the multiples method. And now please take note, when you find common multiples, you're going to have more than one number. So we say common multiples are, but when you find LCM, it's going to be just one number. So make sure you're saying LCM is. Just take notes of that. So let's do more examples on LCM using listing the multiples method. We have another example here on our screen. Find the LCM of the following numbers. The first one we have here is 6 and 9. Let's go ahead and list the multiples of 6, the multiples of 9 as well. We'll identify their common multiples and then we pick the LCM of the book. So for our solution, we say 6. We'll list the common multiples. We'll list the multiples of 6. List the multiples of 9 as well. And identify their common multiples. Let's go. We have 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 42, 48, 54, 60, 66, and 72. I've just said to do first 12 multiples. Remember that I think you can stop at the first 10 multiples. That works as well. So we're going to have 9, 18, 27, 36, 45, 54, 63, 72, 81, 90, 99, 108. What are our common multiples here? We have 18. Next, we have 36. Next, we have 54. We have 72. So we're going to say common multiples of 6 and 9 are, so let's write out a list of the numbers we've circled. We have 18, 36, 54, 72. It means that the LCM of 6 and 9 is, so the smallest number, the least number, the first number on our line of common multiples will be the LCM. So in this case, that's 18. So that's another example of finding the LCM using listing the multiples method. And then we'll take one more example on this of finding the LCM of numbers using listing the multiples method. Now we have three numbers here. Find the lowest common multiples of the following numbers 3, 5, and 10. And of course, we're going to do it just the same way we handled the previous example where we had two numbers. So we begin by listing multiples of 3, multiples of 5, and multiples of 10 as well. So 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30, 33, and 36. We have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, and 60. And then we have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, and 120. Of course, we know that that's not all, just run out of space there. So let's observe our list of multiples of 3, 5, and 10 so we can pick out our common multiples. Again, you have to be careful and you have to make sure that whatever you select as A common multiple must be common to all three numbers. So the first common multiple between the three numbers we can see here is 30. I'm gonna go ahead and underline 30. And the next common multiple we are going to get will be 60. And I already explained how a list of common multiples is also a list of multiples. So it will be multiples of 30. The next number will be 60. We have 60 here. We have 60 here. And if we keep going with the multiples of 3, we are going to arrive at 60 at some point. However, because 60 is not displayed on the screen, I'm not going to bother with it. I'm just going to write what we have. We have 30 here. So I'm going to say the common multiples of 3, 5, and 10 are, I'm going to say 30, and I'm just going to leave room for more. We know there are more, even though it's not displayed on the screen. And I'm going to say, so therefore, LCM of 3, 5, and 10 is 30. Since 30 is the first multiple, the first common multiple of the tree is obviously going to be the lowest common multiple as well, and so we will just take that. So that's it on our lesson on lowest common multiples using listing the multiples method. Remember that we have two other videos on LCM using two other methods. So do well to check it out after this video, and then you can go ahead and try this practice test on your screen. And as always, if you want it to be marked, graded, and corrected, go ahead and submit it to mathswithmrspace@gmail.com, and I'll be happy to do that for you as well. Thank you for watching this video. Please go ahead and like, share, subscribe, or follow our page. Turn on the notification button so that you can see when we post a new video. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.